fighter has the highest fight IQ?
I don't think there's nobody in the game that has the fight IQ that I have.
Off the charts.
His IQ
the
is
highest
insane.
fight IQ maybe ever.
This guy hits hard. He's tough. He's this, he's that. And this guy has a dream. But my fight IQ will win this fight.
Welcome to the Fight IQ podcast. We're here with some breaking news. If you've been on Instagram or pretty much anywhere on the internet, I'm sure you've seen already, but TSARUKYAN is out of his fight with Islam Makhachev at UFC 311 due to back issues. Apparently his team called Dana White around 1 a.m., told him that he was complaining of some back issues and he was not fit to fight. So MOICANO steps in. He came ready. I think he kind of knew that this was going to happen. He came in at championship weight, and that's it. That's our new matchup. It's not the craziest thing that's ever happened. MOICANO is number 10. We've had, I can think back to when Khabib fought Al Iaquinta for the title. I think Al was number 11 at the time. I think that's the farthest a challenger has been ranked back fighting for the title. And then recently we had Steve Erceg fighting for the title. Those are off recent memory, the ones that I can remember. I'm pretty upset, man. We both really wanted to see the TSARUKYAN matchup. I thought it was set to be one of the greatest rematches in history. I thought would have been one of the best lightweight title fights in history, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's a real big bummer. We've been seeing Arman TSARUKYAN just looking shredded all week, really in shape. He made weight. So we were pretty much right there, and then all of a sudden...
I don't think he made weight yet.
You don't think he made weight?
No, because I was watching the live weigh-in show, and he was he was one of the few guys that hadn't weighed in yet.
Yeah, because I saw that they had him in the thumbnail after the fact, so I figured he still made weight, but that's kind of deceiving a little bit on the YouTube, whoever did that. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, if you're getting injured, you should know about these injuries way earlier in your camp and all these things. And if you're aggravating that injury, that just shows that whatever you're doing in training is just not the smartest. Because even Aspinall came into what I think it was his Sergey Pavlovich fight really injured with his back, and he said that he really babied his injury until the fight itself.
Yeah.
And if he was going to break apart, he was going to break apart in the octagon. But, yeah, it's just very unfortunate. Props to MOICANO for stepping up. We could be in for a big Cinderella story for MOICANO, and he could shock the world, man. He has the skill set to be able to get a win. He has the most win streaks at lightweight right now. Is it an insane ask for him to beat Islam on, very short notice? Yes, it is, because I think Islam is the best in the world.
Yeah.
But crazier things have happened,
Absolutely. We've seen bigger upsets than this. To me, would it be an upset? Yes. Would it be absolutely crazy? I don't think so. We know that MOICANO has great wrestling. Offensively, he has great wrestling. We've seen him get taken down. We've seen him get held down in the bottom position, and up against a guy like Islam, that's a man, it seems like it would be impossible for a lot of guys. But here's the thing. Do you think now Islam... I don't personally think so, but I want to hear what you think. Do you think there's more pressure on Islam now?
If I'm being honest with you, I feel like Islam is just such a competitor, and he's so used to competing at such a high level. Since he was young, he was competing a lot in Sambo. So I don't think opponent switches like this or anything like that matter to him, because he's going to have the same game plan against everybody. But what I do think is that there is going to be a little bit of extra doubt, because he said himself that the reason he likes rematches is because he knows his opponent. He knows what his opponent brings to the table, all that stuff. So this whole camp, he was sitting comfortable knowing what was going to come next, which would have been Arman TSARUKYAN. And then very last minute, it switches. So Islam's been in this position before where Volkanovski stepped up for the second time, but that was a rematch. So it's a fresh matchup for him. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with it, but I think he has all the tools to do what he does best, and which is, get finishes and submit people. But
yeah, he opened up as a huge favorite, like you would expect, and then it kind of just kept going up. The last I checked, I think he was like a minus 900 favorite. Also, badass. Let's give Islam some credit for just not giving a shit who his opponent is. I mean, Dana White said that he literally called him up and said that he might end up fighting MOICANO if Arman Tsarukyan really can't fight. And he said, brother, I'm just going to sleep. Like, call me in the morning and tell me who I'm fighting. It doesn't matter. Which is like one of the most badass things, especially as a champion. You're just like, you just don't care. You're just like, I'm the champion, dude. Whoever fights me, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pretty badass.
I can't remember. I think it was Habib, where it's like, if you're champion, it doesn't matter. Anybody in the world should be able to challenge you, and you should be able to take all the challenges. Because if you're the champion, you have to show that your skill set is above everybody else. You shouldn't be hiding from matchups or anything like that. So,
agreed.
It's fucking dope. It's why Islam's is a fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to be a great fight. I do think Islam is going to be able to get it done. I want to believe, and I want the Cinderella story for MOICANO, but I just feel like Islam's grappling is just a slight level above MOICANO's when it comes to if he gets top position. I don't see MOICANO really being able to survive very long, just like Oliveira was able to.
I agree. I mean, RDA was able to secure top position and hold top position on MOICANO. I mean, no secret, Islam's wrestling is way higher level than RDA's. I mean, RDA's former champ and everything, but the wrestling difference and the top pressure is just way different. One thing I want to bring up too, Renato says that he was training for a 5-round fight, and Islam, southpaw on the feet, and so is Beneil Dariush. So Renato was training for a southpaw with good grappling. You know what I mean? So it's not even like in the training in the camp, obviously you would probably, if you were training for Islam and you knew you were training for Islam in camp, you'd probably bring in much higher level wrestlers to be on top of you the entire camp. So Renato probably wasn't doing that, but it's not too crazily far off from what's standing in front of you.
Yeah, 100%, man. And one thing I do want to bring up as well is I do think MOICANO has the abilities to create moments against Islam on the feet too. I really rate Islam's striking very high, but I feel like I'm really expecting to see at least one big moment from MOICANO where he lands like a solid jab cross and wobbles Islam a little bit, and Islam really has to, dig deep to stay in there, because at the end of the day, MOICANO is going to see this as the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is everything he's worked for. He has a big win streak right now, and he can't afford to lose, man. And this is the ultimate piggy bank. So, if he's able to go in there and shock the world, man, just imagine what that's going to do for MOICANO. And he was getting really big pops at the press conference. People love him right now.
Yeah.
So, I want to believe, man.
I know. And dude, I think like if MOICANO is going to have a chance, I think this is it. Like, I really do think this is the best timing and best opportunity for MOICANO. He just had a good full camp, you know what I mean? Seemingly not injured. He's getting a little bit older. I think he's like 35 or 36, you know what I mean? So, like, even if he was to win this fight against Beneil Dariush, you know what I mean? He would still need to win probably one or two more to get the shot at the title if Tsarukyan didn't pull out and this was playing how it was supposed to. You know what I mean? And then by the time MOICANO would have gotten a title shot had he gone through the normal processes, he would have been 37, 38 years old, taken maybe a little bit more damage. You know what I mean? Maybe acquired an injury along the way. Like, this is best case scenario for MOICANO.
Yeah, he just gets to jump the line, man. There's a queue at lightweight.
Yeah.
And it just shows you how quickly things can turn into a circus in this sport.
Yeah.
Because it's like, let's say MOICANO wins. He lands a knee on Islam when Islam's shooting in or something like that, like flatline KOs Islam with a knee.
Yeah.
And Islam's going to be out for a while, plus Ramadan. Moicano's not injured. He calls out Patty Pimblett on the mic, dude. Like, it could go south quick.
Yeah, it can. It can. Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a shit show if Moicano wins. But I mean, listen, I like both guys. This is tough. Islam clearly the favorite for a reason. However, like, there is part of me that wants Moicano to win, just so there's a little bit of chaos at lightweight.
Yeah, dude. Just to fuck everything up real quick.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Offensively, Renato's wrestling pretty good. Not against super, super high-level wrestlers. I don't see him taking Islam down, but what I do see is maybe he gets some pressure. He gets pressured up against the fence, reverses the position, or he pressures Islam against the fence and jumps on Islam's back somehow. Like, in terms of routes to victory, I think that's Moicano's best bet. I think it's going to be really hard to take Islam down to get into a dominant position, but if he can even just pressure him up against the fence and try to take his back against the fence, like kind of like how Charles Oliveira likes to do it, you know what I mean? Like, usually, like, Renato likes to take people down out in the open, but I think his route to victory here is up against the fence.
I think it's going to, yeah, I have a very similar, like, method to victory for Moicano. I think what he would need to do is, like you said, pressure him against the fence or just apply enough pressure for Islam to overcommit to either a grappling exchange or a strike and catch him as that's happening. So I think it would need to be him rocking him on the feet, maybe landing a body kick or something. Islam doesn't like it. He shoots in and gets caught. Because Moicano is really good at latching stuff up on his way down.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's going to land on Islam, bro, because Islam is just another level, and they've shown it time and time again that they can just nullify shit like that. But I feel like if Moicano can do something like that, maybe rock him on the feet and then catch a submission, that might be the best way for him to rock from standing, though. I don't think it's going to be like Moicano is going to be able to, get like ankle pick him against the fence or anything like that, or just take him down.
Right. Like I said, Islam, very, very hard to take down. Even like I know it was a while ago, but in the Tsarukyan fight, like, watching their scrambles, Arman takes him down a couple times, but it's like he like barely has position, and by the time he gets him down, Islam's already working his way out and working his way into the scramble, and it's just Islam is so hard to get down, and if you get him down, he's most likely going to get out like almost immediately. So, yeah, I really do think, I agree with you, Moicano's going to need to get something standing, whether that's against the fence or trying to catch something as on the way down and as Islam's taking a double leg or something. Yeah. But the final thing I want to bring up, do we think that we're going to see Islam versus Arman at some point? Because Islam's been really vocal about he wants to defend the belt one more time, and then he wants to go up and get his second belt. However, he's also been vocal about that Bilal is the champion at 170 right now, and he doesn't want to fight Bilal.
He doubled back on that point. He said it doesn't matter who the champion is at that point. Good. Even Habib addressed it. He's like, I don't want them to fight, but if they fight, I got to back up my boy Islam, obviously.
Hell yeah.
But he brought it up because becoming champ is one of Islam's, what he wants to do to really set himself as into GOAT status, essentially. But all of that can get fucked up by what happens on Saturday night if Moicano wins. It's like if he loses the belt here, maybe he just goes up to 170. Maybe he tries to reclaim the belt.
Let's assume that Islam wins tomorrow, right? And listen, if Arman is actually hurt and actually needs to heal an injury, Arman's not going to be fighting, especially if it's a back injury. If he's got a legitimate back injury, he's probably not going to be fighting 9 months to a year. You know what I mean? And if Islam wins here, I don't think he's going to want to wait 9 months to wait for the Arman match. I think he's going to move up. I think if he beats Moicano here, I think he's going to move up right away. But do you think we eventually see Islam versus Arman at some point?
Ooh, no, dude. Actually, this is like one of those things where it's like, I think Arman might have lost that one forever because, like you were saying, he does want to move up. Whether or not Islam. Like I think Islam moves up by the end of the year, but I think he takes one more fight at lightweight, whether that's against Ilya, whether that's against whoever the number one contender is. I think he fights one more time at lightweight if he wins this weekend, and then he moves up by the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I agree with you.
Yeah, because with Ramadan coming up, he's probably not going to fight again until at least like July, August, and then maybe they might sneak in one more for like that December card. That's always pretty big.
Yeah, the MSG card. Or no, that's the November card. Sorry.
Yeah, Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena 170, bro.
I mean, a lot of things have to align for that to happen, but. All right, man. Well, that's it. That's our thoughts on Tsarukyan being out, Moicano, how he potentially matches up against Islam. Needless to say, we're pretty upset. We were definitely looking forward to that rematch, but it's looking like we're not going to see it. That time has passed, and we just got to focus on this one now.
Yeah. Well, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. Appreciate you. And this was some breaking news.
Peace.
Peace.